everybody already?
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure we get in there.
Hey guys. And I'm right here.
Be in there.
All right.
Ready?
Yes.
Imagine yourself back in junior high and high school. For many people, those years were not the best for them. For many people, those years are full of bullying, fights, and sexual assault. Could uniforms be the key to help improve student safety? School uniforms are very common in the private schools. Recently, there has been an upward trend of public schools implementing standard school uniforms. Some of the first public schools that implemented public school uniforms experienced fights that were decreased by more than 50% and sexual offenses that were decreased by more than 74%. I personally went to a school that required school uniforms. They actually instilled this policy when I was a sophomore, so naturally, being a high school student, I did not like this change of policy. But after about a month into it, my attitude changed. I loved how easy it was to get ready in the mornings. Also, there was a sense of relief around the girls because we all looked the same. So the concerns of trying to fit in were decreased or alleviated completely. Today, I will discuss the safety issues in public schools and how school uniforms could help alleviate some of these issues. First, let's discuss the problem, safety issues. Bullying and fighting is an issue in many schools. Many times a child is picked on because they look different or they feel left out because they are unable to afford the name-brand clothes that their counterparts can. More often than not, these same students also can't afford new clothes at all. They're wearing the same clothes that they wore the previous year. This puts them at risk to experience bullying and are picked on because they look different. Also, girls are more likely to dress inappropriately because they're trying to get attention from their fellow students, typically the wrong kind. This also leads to an increase of sexual assault and verbal sexual abuse. Now let's discuss the solution. If the issues of trying to fit in school were taken out completely, students would be able to focus more on their studies. There are many distractions in school, and looking different and picking on someone that looks different is just one of the many. However, school uniforms would allow students to look the same. This would take out the distractions that different clothes can cause. Also, many times when schools implement public school uniforms, the percentage of fights and sexual offenses decrease significantly. While many people are completely against public school uniforms because they feel that it decreases student individuality and creativity, I know from personal experience that there actually are ways to show creativity while also staying within the school uniform with jewelry and other accessories. And this actually shows true creativity because you have to think outside the box in order to stay within the school uniform. As for girls dressing inappropriately, most of the time they do not realize that they are potentially putting themselves at risk. They think they just look cool. When girls dress inappropriately, they not only look unprofessional and are a distraction, many times they are more concerned about what they are wearing instead of what they are studying. Also, it is disturbing what some children wear to school. Not only is it inappropriate for school, but it is revealing and gives the wrong impression to the people around them. By implementing school uniforms, these girls would be safer because they would not be wearing revealing clothing, while their fellow students will be able to focus more on school instead of the inappropriately dressed student in front of them. Girls also could focus more on their studies instead of worried about what they're putting on their head and on their body. There are many other benefits to having public school uniforms. One is that it prepares students for the real world. In almost every public profession, there is a dress code or uniform policy, whether it be from business attire or scrubs. Making students accustomed to wearing a regular uniform will help prepare them for the real world. Also, if students look professional while they're in school, instead of looking like they're going out on a night on the town, professionals say that they will perform better in the classroom and their grades will improve. conclusion, while there are many people that are strictly against school uniforms, I feel very passionate about them. I went to a school where uniforms were required. It did not limit my individuality or make me less creative. It actually allowed me to focus more on school because the stress of what I was supposed to wear was completely gone. School uniforms have gotten a bad reputation. However, implementing them could actually allow the student to do better in school while also decreasing the number of fights and sexual encounters. I hope I have shed some light on this controversial subject, and maybe next time when you are in a school board meeting, you will think twice about voting against public school uniforms.